Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Control, where we are exploring... we cannot be exploring the canyon room, I suppose. We're exploring the DLC, the Foundation, where we have this nail. It is connected to some locks. Oh, hello. Emily joined us. Hello, Emily.
Hey. Emily, how did she get down here?
How did she get down here?
What are you doing down here, Emily?
What do you mean? You called me down, remember?
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
I'm also pretty sure I didn't.
That's right, you didn't. But then, I remember you needing me to come here. I mean, you even told me how to get in. Let's just chalk it up to synchronicity so we can get to work. She takes everything in stride.
Okay.
We're down here to deal with the situation. The astral plane is
Colliding with our world, I know. Isn't it fascinating? I never even considered that the astral plane could be a
Well, at the very least, I don't have to worry about explaining what's going on to Pope.
To this area, but its growth rate seems steady. Given time, it will consume the entire bureau, and possibly beyond.
Which would itself be a very big problem.
The board told me to fix the nail over there.
Although it's interesting that all of the problems that Jesse is having to fix...
Funny, I think it's put itself
Oh
back
my,
together.
that is a...
So that could be due to the law of inverse exchange. For every
That was an interesting camera angle.
This nail reconstructs, or possibly some variation of anti-sympathy. Don't worry, I'll look into it. Did you notice all the bureau infrastructure? It looks like there was a research team stationed down here at some point. Do you think Darling knew about this?
Oh,
I put money on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That reminds me. Have you seen
But yeah, like everything that Jesse has had to fix are problems caused by the FPC. Or caused by just this building itself.
The hotline only connects to extraplanar entities. Or dead people. But Marshall's proved time and time again that she's a survivor.
That's
But then also,
exactly what
I
I thought.
remember that Darling is also extraplanar.
Minerals growing down here. Have you noticed how they insist on maintaining a certain form? Maybe some sort of a state memory, or they consciously prefer a certain shape.
I think we're on a clock here, Emily. I need to stop the astral bleeding before it brings the oldest house down. See what you can find out from the nail in the meantime.
That is,
And send out some rangers to look for Marshall. She may be in trouble.
that feels like a very polite way of saying, Emily, your discussion about rocks is interesting, but I do not have time.
Jesse, you're back. So did you find anything noteworthy? The original Bureau expedition down here left so
I did find the 2 ID badges, so I was wondering why they didn't just bring it up then.
I picked up a weird one. It's pretty old.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, I found a few ID cards myself. Or, more accurately, the Rangers found them for me.
Are you starting a collection?
I'm going for the whole set. I kid, of course.
I kid, of course,
But I
all those
suppose they
people are
actually have
dead.
Baseball cards, except for Bureau stuff from the 60s. Hey, the one you found is different than mine. It looks like it's a higher clearance level.
A rare one, then. Want to keep it, Emily?
Yeah, I absolutely do. But I think you should hang on to it for now. High clearance access might come in handy.
Sounds like you have something in mind.
Guilty. See, I've been going through Dr. Ash's notes, or the ones I can find, anyway. Like Darling, he seemed to enjoy hiding his most relevant research.
Yeah, he just kind of like leaves audio logs, just kind of littered around the Foundation.
With a special lab that requires 5 high-level staff members just to access.
Oh.
Take this. It's an old skeleton key. Something else the Rangers found. I give them $5 for every useful trinket they bring me.
So,
I'm gonna assume this key is my ticket to that lower floor. And that super secret lab you mentioned.
Bingo bango, as Dr. Darling used to say. Look, keep your eyes peeled for more ID cards around the warehouse. If Ash's notes are reliable, and I'm sure they are, then 5 is the magic number.
huh.
All of the tests I run on the nail keep coming back as nonsense. And a couple of my instruments have already broken.
And I've already got 2.
I didn't take you for a quitter, Dr. Sama.
Should I go back to the warehouse, see if I could find more ID cards? Or should I try to carry on with the story? Or at the very least, let's head to the warehouse, see about that, that sub-basement, I think, is what, I've just unlocked. And the sub-basement, I think, is supposed to open up, to the hidden lab, I guess? But I don't know how much more time I definitely want to be spending on this. Oh. Ah, hello. Oh, I did not even mean to do that. Ah, damn. Because then I'm just gonna get caught up in some combats. Use up all my energy. Lose my ability to dodge. Ah, damn. Where did you go? Okay. I'll reload when I come back to life. Or I'll skip to when I come back to life. At the very least, all the bad guys are gone. I'm rewarded with, safety? For dying? It's a strange little reward. And I think I've explored a lot of these. I've already explored these buildings. There was a part of the elevator. Oh, hello. Nope, that's just the, shower that doesn't work. Son of a... No, I wasn't aiming for you. Nope. And... Okay. There we go. Okay. That cleared that group out. Yeah. Who is hitting me? I was out of energy and I didn't realize it. Nope. Cut. There we... Alright, now who is left? It's that guy! Are you all dead? I think they're all dead. Whew. Up. And we can clear him out. And let's see if we can find this basement area of the warehouse. Also, did I go through into this building? I did. There's the... Ah, here it is. Here's the sub-basement, which leads to another ID card.
Another ID card. For a cartographer.
Dr. Ash. As Chief of Excavation Officer, it's my job to support the research team, so I got you your machine for that ridiculous sand research project. However, it's also my responsibility to ensure the safety of my crew. Do you know how many trips it took to get an entire bulldozer down here piece by piece? And do you know how many of my guys we lost on those trips? Here's a hint: too fucking many. Which brings me to my point. I'm writing you today because of this request form that just landed on my desk. Apparently you want a lightweight 1 or 2 man military-grade helicopter for the purposes of surveying the vast expanse of columns by air. I bet you didn't even stop to wonder how much time, money, effort, and blood this toy would cost us. Well, no, sir, I'm sorry, but I will not subject my men to another month of marching through that death trap upstairs. For Christ's sake, these people have families. Not that they ever get to see them anymore. Request denied. And that would be before the upper area became, quote, safe, unquote. So I still have 2 more IDs to try to find. And I also noticed there is... So I guess the secret lab would be on the top floor. But there are also a couple areas that I did not explore on my way up. So I'm just going to cut to me getting to those sections. Oh, hold on. An ID badge.
Another one of those ID cards. Security chief.
Okay, so here is level 4, which I skipped on my way up to the top of the warehouse before. What do we have here? Meteor Hill Supplement. As per mandates, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. The retrieved material was subjected to Fellstrom's array, configuration 74B, but the tests were halted as the matter began to physically elude the equipment. Attempts to constrain the element were made, but under further stress became vaporous. The researchers suffered corrosive injuries prior to their deaths. Ugh. The child victims at Meteor Hill recounted the material enveloping them in a pleasant manner upon making contact, but when discovered, they were redacted and screaming. Bodily changes were perceived immediately: deformities, loss of pigment in the skin and hair, and mental systems surfaced in subsequent examinations. Confusion, heightened aggression. The Department of Public Knowledge and Diversions gave statements claiming the incident was caused by debris from poorly made Russian satellites, which the public accepted with no complications. The children were sent to the Bureau's recuperation facility and redacted to receive help away from society. Alright. So, there was the experience they thought they had. And then the experience they did have, which presents the idea that said meteor has some means of mind control. But I've already been to the machine room. Alright, I'll cut to whatever I find something new, whether it be the entrance to the secret lab or something else. Okay, I don't think I've been through here either, because there's some correspondence I haven't looked at, some loot boxes I haven't opened. No ID card. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not really looking for correspondence, I'm looking more for ID cards, but my explorations of the Foundation have resulted in yet another mystery, a fascinating series of etchings on large stone tablets. The tablets themselves are likely not native to the Foundation, seeing as they're slabs of sedimentary stone quite different from the cave's categorization-defying rock. Their placement and form are also too intentional to be naturally occurring. But who braved this place to carry them in? And for what purpose? I discovered a 5-point macro entanglement between the tablets, with the pillar at its center. These links seem to extend beyond our level of consciousness to some astral realm I can't detect. Is Northmore's board somehow tied to all this? The etchings on these tablets are similarly curious. They differ from the cave paintings in style and technique, so are clearly not of the same origin. Are they the visual narration of some event? Or do they indicate intent, a wish, a plan? They only seem to consist of a tree and the pillar, but the sizes of either are inconsistent. What does that signify? I'm missing key pieces of this puzzle, and it's unlikely I'll ever find them. And wow, it is dark in here. Somebody must have forgotten to turn on the lights. So actually, that is level 4. I think. Oh. Hold on. Am I on the other side of the... How do I get to that? Do I even need to get to that? Okay, cutting to the next thing. Oh, here's something I missed. Not an ID badge, unfortunately. After numerous attempts, I finally found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of Aristotelian battery I've dubbed the power core. I admit it was difficult capturing an energy I can barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems that the porous stone of the Foundation's cavern possesses such conductive qualities. Using stone flakes and copper wire, my power cores collect significant power. My early prototypes collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container. We don't yet know the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside of the house. Wise decision. Ideally, the Bureau should no longer need to rely on typical energy sources. It's my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity that it allowed set within the firm boundaries of logic and physics. Father never approved, calling it a mundane science. With that in mind, I dedicated this invention to Theodore Ashe Sr. May he scowl in peace. Those mundane inventions that make life easier. How dare he be working on them? Also? But where is that last ID badge? Okay. So this is something I did not notice. Because I was not looking at it at the right angle. And now... I should be able to get in through here. Which gets me a ID card.
This ID card was for an excavation engineer. Why did so many people abandon their cards down here?
Why did 5 people abandon their cards down here? That's a whole 5 people, Jesse. That's it. Well, also there's the skeleton key. 6 people. Let's see. This is the Meteor Hill thing, which we already read about. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on the hill when an event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. Bureau agents arrived at the scene 7 days after the incident. Samples of the lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive, but the magma descended too deeply into the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odors were detected in the area, which were hypothesized being the dissipated elements vapor trail left at the scene. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination in the Bureau's on-site laboratories. And I believe that would be before this became the de facto FBC building. Because I don't believe this is in Washington. Oh. Let's not fall to our deaths. But also let us use the control point, so that's reactivated. Hopefully we don't get into a fight. Enemies... I forget how often enemies respawn in this game. They're just constantly respawning. Alright. So now that control point is reacquired, let us carry on to the secret basement. Also, oh, that's what they do. They just sit there and explode. Never mind. I was wondering what was up with those rocks, but I guess they're like little time bombs, more or less, that build up pressure until somebody gets nearby. Now I know. Let's go downstairs and not stand by proximity bombs.
From the layer of dust on this place, nobody's swept here in years. Not even Ati. No way he'd stand for this. There's an elevator, which I'm sure is super safe, in a space in each terminal for an ID card. But which card goes where?
I could look this up, but let's see if I can figure it out, just by looking at the terminals. I've got a excavation engineer, a research, security chief, cartographer, and lead physicist. Is there anything about their desks that I could look at and be like, hey, like this is clearly... Oh, wait. We have a perpetual motion thingy. So that is going to be the lead physicist. What do we have here? Got some guns. That's going to be the security engineer. The security chief. We've got a map that says don't touch. Another map, clipboard, signs. That's probably the cartographer. Imagine that, using logic to solve puzzles. What have we got here? We've got seismic activity, which would be the chief excavation engineer, which leaves this to be the head of research?
It worked. Now I just
Excellent.
have to get on a rickety elevator that goes who knows how far down.
That is true. We're already deep within the sub-basement of the FBC. Also, note how like the area around this elevator was a non-combat section, but this area is, which presumes there's going to be a battle.
Well, this lab's way tinier than any of Darling's.
Ah. Let's take control of you. We could always use an ally for our cause. Alright. Nope. I think I destroyed my ally. Nope. Anybody else want some? Nobody else wants none. Excellent. And what are... Do I need to open up valves? Also, at the very least, I remember now what these things are called. They're called elements. At the very least, there's a whole bunch of elements sitting around, ready to be picked up. Out of the way. Walls and glass.
Why would they need such a heavy door down here?
That is an excellent question. Why would they need anything? Nah. Ah! He's got a laser. Where did he go? Is he invisible? Join me for jolly cooperation. Gibbs. What gives, Gibbs? Ah. Where are my elements? I'm not in my elements. You know, I think this works. Although, unfortunately, now I have to wait for... Oh, but that blocks his huge laser. Alright, where are you? Alright, I think that worked. Just barely. But just barely is good enough. What was Mr. Gibbs, Dr. Gibbs, hiding in here?
This looks like the nail, only mini.
Oh yeah, they were talking about there was a smaller version of this. Of the nail. The wall with eyes, what they called it.
A document. Is this in some kind of code?
Hmm.
I can't read a word of it. I should take this back to Emily.
To Dr. Theodore Ashe Jr., as Director of the Federal Bureau of Control, and chosen representative / liaison / benefactor of the greater authority of the board. Oh, that worries me. That worries me about Northmore. I demand your immediate withdrawal from the Foundation. Prior memos issued broadly to Foundation staff called for swift reassignment of all personnel to the upper levels of the House. All staff complied except you. This demonstrates a lack of respect for my office and the board itself. This is their house, and we are their guests. We should conduct ourselves accordingly. Normally, such insubordination would be grounds for dismissal, but out of respect for your late father, consider this instead my final warning. The board and Director Ashe chose me as successor to the office, and no amount of petulance will change that. Indeed, your actions seem to suggest you know better than myself, and by extension, better than the board. Permit me to assure you that this is not possible. Sincerely, Director Broderick Northmore.
And tell her I got into Ash's secret lab.
Yeah. Let's head back to Emily, see what she has to say. And I'll just cut back to that. All right, Emily, let me hand you this coded message. I'm sure this is going to probably lead to a later quest, maybe?
Excellent. Please tell me everything. Spare no details.
Well, there was another cave. The walls were covered in paintings of eyeballs. The research seemed dedicated to studying a kinda smaller version of the nail. It looked like the same material as the one up here, but just a different shape.
Well, are you sure you didn't see any functioning prototypes? Or at least some schematics? I mean, Dr. Ash was a very accomplished engineer.
None. Sorry. I did find this handwritten note.
Wow. Ash had terrible handwriting. Never meet your heroes, right? That looks like a transcribed conversation between Ash and someone named F. Ooh. Oh, this is juicy. This'll take me days to parse out. Maybe weeks.
Have you
Try to...
taking a vacation, Emily?
Are you kidding? This is my vacation, Jesse.
All right. I think I'm going to call it for tonight. Tomorrow I'll come back, talk to Emily, see what she's got for me next.
Don't be a stranger.
In the meantime, though, got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night. Oh, hold on. Ley lines. Didn't I already read this? Oh, nope. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's... How do you actually pronounce that? Occam's razor? Like the simplest answer is probably the most correct. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. So what is the true relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet attracting them, polar north? Or is this pillar a product of their focused energies? A sprout, nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power? Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may be possible to collect and even harness this energy, which they do via the power cores. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Führer once believed him to be. So Wagner's a Nazi. So yeah. Suggestions, comments below. Like, subscribe. Have yourselves a good night.